over here. Lila spun around so fast her ponytail whipped her cheek. That was strange. Books weren't supposed to whisper ever, but the voice came again, this time from an enormous blue book, glowing faintly at the very top shelf. Her curiosity took over. She grabbed the tall wooden ladder and started to climb, her heart thumping against her ribs. When she reached the top, she hesitated, then whispered, Did you just talk?" A voice, soft as rustling paper, sighed in relief. "Finally, someone who can hear me. Please, open me quickly, we don't have much time." The moment Lila's fingers brushed against the leather cover, the entire library shivered. Shelves rattled, sending dust motes dancing in the dim light. The overhead lamps flickered, and then a soft rising rustle filled the air, coming from every aisle and every corner. The books were whispering, all of them carefully. Lila carried the glowing book down the ladder and set it on a heavy oak table. It opened itself with a dramatic whoosh, its pages gleaming like liquid moonlight. "I am the Atlas of Lost Stories," the book announced, its voice grand and ancient, "and a very important story has escaped from my pages. Without it, a whole world has no ending." Before Lila could even process what that meant, a small blue blur zipped right past her ear with a faint whooshing sound. She instinctively ducked, and the blur skidded to a stop on the table beside the atlas. It shimmered and slowly coalesced, shaping itself into a tiny, beautiful fox made entirely of swirling letters and glowing dust. "I'm not going back." The fox yipped, its voice defiant and surprisingly clear. "I want to be real. I want my own ending." The atlas groaned, its pages fluttering with frustration. That is the fox of pathways. It belongs in a story that guides lost travelers. Without it, they'll wander forever, trapped between chapters. Lila, ignoring the grumbling book for a moment, crouched down to get closer to the tiny creature. "Hey, it's okay," she said softly. "Why did you run away?" The glowing fox flicked its tail, sending a cascade of sparkling letters into the air. "I'm tired of repeating the same ending every single night," it explained, its voice tinged with sadness. "I guide the hero home, the book closes, and the next day it's the same all over again. I want to choose my own adventure." Lila felt a pang of sympathy in her heart. She understood what it was like to feel stuck. What if you could, she asked, an idea blooming in her mind. "What if I help write you a new ending, one that lets you travel anywhere you want, to any story you choose?" The fox's luminous eyes widened in disbelief. You'd make me a story like that?" "Of course," Lila said with a confident smile. "But you still need a home. All stories need a place to live. If you return to the Atlas, we'll write your new chapter together, right here, right now." The fox glanced at the whispering shelves, as if listening to the quiet encouragement from the other books. After a long moment, it looked back at Lila and gave a small, determined nod. The entire library seemed to hold its breath. Lila picked up a forgotten fountain pen from the table. The fox curled up beside her, its glow intensifying with every word she wrote. She described a new ending, one where the Fox of Pathways could leap between stories, helping characters who felt lost, not because it had to, but because it wanted to. As she wrote, the glowing letters lifted off the page like tiny, golden stars and wrapped gently around the fox, weaving into its form. When the last sentence settled on the page, the fox stretched, shining with pure happiness. "I love it," it whispered. "It feels like my real story." The atlas closed softly. "Then it's time to return." The fox nuzzled Lila's hand one last time. "If you ever get lost in a book, call for me. I'll find you." With a final brilliant swirl of shimmering letters, it slipped back between the pages of the atlas. The book shut with a soft, satisfying click, and the library settled around them. The whispers faded, replaced by warm, sleepy murmurs. As Leela walked toward the exit, a tiny new voice floated from a nearby shelf. "Leela, come back soon." She smiled to herself. "I will." And from that day on, whenever Lila opened a book, she always listened carefully because in that magical library, she knew stories didn't just whisper. They whispered back. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more magical tales.